Does it feel like prepping for your vacation takes away from the enjoyment of the vacation because you're just so stressed about doing all of the things that you need to do to make sure that you can get out of town? Well, I want to share with you some of my top tips around how to de-stress a little bit of that vacation prep to make sure that when you head out of town, when you head out on your vacation, you are feeling good about it and that you are not scrambling at the last minute, packing your bag right before you're about to get in your Uber to go to the airport, right? And so there are just a few things that you can do, just a little bit of planning that will allow you to really feel like, you know what? Prepping for this vacation was just not that big of a deal. And when you feel like prepping for a vacation is not that big of a deal, you're going to want to go on more vacations, right? And that's going to be something that is good for you and your mental health and everything else, right? So, if you are headed out of town this summer or otherwise, I want to give you a few simple tips that you can use to make this a lot easier. So, a few things about packing, because packing is usually one of the biggest hurdles, right? So, first things first, create a packing template. I have templates for all sorts of use cases. I have templates for, when I am going on a camping trip. I have a template for if it's just me and my husband. I have a template for if it's my husband, me, and both of my kids. I have a template for my kids for if just they're going off on their own, like maybe they're going to visit their grandparents. So have a template that you can reuse over and over and over again. And what this does is it makes it so that that mental load of packing just isn't that stressful. What will happen is that your template will get better and better over time because you will find that, you get your template started and you'll realize, oh, you forgot sunscreen. You'll add sunscreen to the template so that next time you won't forget sunscreen. So it just keeps getting better and better. And then it becomes so easy to just kind of check things off of the list instead of having to try to remember all of the things that you might need to take on vacation. So having a packing template, this can be in any format. Some people put this in their task list. Like I use TickTick and you can put a template just in there, check boxes, check things off. Sometimes people like to use Excel for this. Sometimes you might like to use Word or OneNote. It really doesn't matter as long as it's something that you can use over and over and over again. Now, also, when it comes to packing, you might want to think about when you're going to do the packing. So it can be super stressful if it's like the night before your trip and you still haven't packed, or if it's the day of your trip and you still haven't packed. Maybe that's not stressful for you, but that's incredibly stressful for me. So I actually like to get started thinking about the packing at least a week in advance. And I'll do that by just getting the packing template ready to go. So maybe I'll print it out, put it on a clipboard, or maybe I'll just have it in my task system. It just doesn't matter where it is. It's just like make sure it's ready to go. And then what you can do is define a kind of like packing holding zone. I actually use this chair back there. I just cleaned it off for the purposes of this video, but I was packing earlier and just was throwing things there. And so what happens is that once you have that packing list out and you are kind of mentally prepared to be packing, as you're going around your house, as you're cleaning up the laundry, as you're whatever, if you notice something or see something that you want to pack, just throw it in your packing zone. So I will just throw things on that chair. And then by the time it comes to actually put the things in the suitcase, you're already about 80% packed, right? Because you have been just kind of opportunistically, as you've been seeing things, throwing them in the pile. And so this can be a really helpful way to pack without having to feel like you, one, are going to miss something, or two, like you have to spend so much time packing. So I love this little by little way. Another thing that you can do to make the packing way easier, and this is if you can swing it financially, is to have some duplicates of things, and specifically in two categories. So duplicates of toiletries and duplicates of cords, charging cords. Because if you have a toiletry pack just ready to go that you can just drop into your suitcase anytime you're leaving, this can be really effective. Now, I will say, I said like, do it if you can financially swing it. And I don't wear makeup or I don't have a lot of beauty products. So like this is pretty easy for me because it's just like floss and toothpaste and things like that. If you have more needs in your toiletries, then maybe this isn't going to be as financially viable. But one thing that you could do is have little containers where you put some amount of whatever those products that you use are, a smaller amount, so that you have a kind of smaller amount toiletry kit ready to go at any time. Then cords are the other thing. If you can have a kind of, packing cube full of the cords, the chargers that you would need that are duplicates of the ones you have around your house in all the places, this makes it a whole lot easier too, because you won't forget, you won't worry about, oh, my Kindle has a different cord than my phone or whatever. You'll just have a set of cables and cords ready to go every time you travel. So having duplicates can be really, really helpful. You also, when it comes to templates, may want to have a kind of travel to do template, right? So there are a bunch of things that are generally required for us to do anytime we are going on vacation or leaving our house for some period of time. And so on this vacation travel to-do list, you can have a few things. So things like turning off the AC or the heat, as the case may be. Um, can have things like making sure that you put your mail on hold if you're going to be gone for longer than a few days. It can have things like making sure to cancel any kind of CSAs, or like I have a meat CSA and a fish CSA and vegetable CSA, canceling those things so that they don't accidentally show up and then you've wasted money while you are gone. So, what are the things that need to be done? Other things to think of, like maybe locking all your windows if those aren't normally usually locked, or setting a travel alert with your credit card company or your bank so that your card doesn't get shut down for fraud while you're on vacation in another country, etc. So a bunch of things that just you can check off the list. And then again, these things become easier to kind of tick off as you have a few minutes here and there if you're not trying to push them all to the last minute and thinking about them all at the last time. Now, another thing to think about, which you may not think of as travel prep, but I certainly do, is around cleaning and cleaning your house. So if you use a house cleaner, then it can be awesome to have that house cleaner scheduled for the day before you leave on vacation so you come back to a pristine house. If you clean your house yourself, then do whatever cleaning is necessary or will have you feeling really good to return to your house. So this may mean running the dishwasher, making sure you don't have any dirty dishes in the sink, taking out the garbage, taking out the trash. Nobody wants to return to their house and smell garbage, right? That's not fun. And so whatever you can do in advance that makes it so that when you come back, you're not walking into a messy house because that might be a little stressful. And then one last tip here is that when you come back, unpacking can also be a chore, right? And so one of the things that I've found to be really helpful is that when you come in the house, like literally you get in the house from your vacation, you go to wherever your washing machine is, if you have a washing machine and dryer in your house, and you just immediately dump out everybody's clothes in front of the washing machine and you start a load of laundry. And basically, you just keep that washer going until all of the laundry is clean. And this momentum will get you into the unpacking much faster than if your suitcase just kind of sits in the corner of your house for a while because you're busy and you come back and you realize you're kind of taking things out of it or you can't find something that you brought, etc. So just get in there, get the laundry done as soon as possible and you will have a much less stressful return from your vacation. So I hope these tips have been helpful. If you have any other tips that you want to share around travel and how to make that smoother and easier, please drop them below because I am sure other people will want to hear them as well.
Hey guys, video editor here. I just want to make sure you guys subscribe if you like the videos because only about 20% of the people that watch our videos actually subscribe. So it'd just be a big help to the channel. Thank you.